All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're unpacking a really powerful and honestly pretty bold statement India just made on the world stage about international trade. So, this is the exact quote that's got everyone talking. At this huge international meeting, India used this specific phrase: weaponized trade. Now, that's some seriously strong language, right? And you can bet it was chosen very, very carefully to send a crystal clear message. Okay, so what on earth does that even mean, to weaponize trade? It's a term that gets thrown around a lot these days, but what are we actually talking about here? Well, here's the breakdown. It's basically when a country uses its control over essential goods, think things everyone needs, not for business, but as a weapon. They might restrict exports to create a fake shortage, all to gain some kind of political advantage or just to mess with another country's economy. It's literally turning commerce into a form of conflict. And look, this isn't just some abstract idea. It's happening right now. A perfect example: China's restrictions on exporting rare earth magnets. You might be thinking, rare earth magnets, who cares? Well, you should. They're in everything, from the car you drive to the phone in your pocket. So when China limits the supply, it hits India's auto and electronics industries hard. We're talking real economic damage. So the big question is, where did India decide to drop this bombshell? It was at a meeting of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, better known as the SCO. And trust me, this is not just some random committee meeting. The SCO is a massive, incredibly powerful group of countries. I mean, just get a load of this. The countries in the SCO make up a whopping 42% of the entire world's population. Let that sink in. We're talking about almost half of humanity. So when they talk policy, it affects billions and billions of people. And it's not just about people power either. We're talking serious economic muscle. The SCO accounts for over 17% of all global trade. So yeah, what gets decided here doesn't just stay here. It sends shockwaves through the entire global economy. All right, so let's dig into what's really driving this fiery talk from India. What's the tension behind the scenes? Well, it really boils down to one single, absolutely massive number: $100 billion. That's roughly how big India's trade deficit is with China alone. Think about that. India is buying about $100 billion more from China than it's selling to them. That kind of imbalance creates a huge economic vulnerability, and it's the critical reason why India is pushing back so hard against this idea of weaponized trade. But here's the thing. India didn't just come to complain. Not at all. They showed up with a plan. A whole blueprint for what a fairer, more stable global trade system could actually look like. And this slide lays out the choice perfectly. It's basically two completely different worlds. On one side, you've got the fair trade system India's pushing for, something open, transparent, based on predictable rules from the World Trade Organization. And on the other side, you have the weaponized approach, which is all about creating shortages, breaking supply chains, and using economics to bully other nations. I mean, it's a stark choice, isn't it? Cooperation versus conflict. So how do we get to that better system? Well, India is calling for some major reforms to the WTO. First up, they want a permanent fix for food security, basically letting governments store food to protect their people from shortages. Second, they want to get the dispute settlement system, the WTO's referee, if you will, back up and running. And third, they're demanding a system that gives developing nations a fair shake. And it's not just about fixing the old stuff. India is also looking to the future with a pretty slick digital agenda. They're basically saying, hey, look at our successful digital systems, like UPI for payments and ONDC for e-commerce. You guys should try this. The whole idea is to build new digital trade rules that are fair and transparent right from the get-go. So all of this brings us to the million-dollar question, right? Where do we go from here? What does this big clash of ideas really mean for the future of global trade? When you boil it all down, India's stance is a powerful call to get back to a system based on rules, not on power plays. The argument is simple. Stability and fair play are better for everyone in the long run. It's about growing the whole pie together instead of fighting over the crumbs. It's really a plea to de-escalate this new kind of economic warfare. And that leaves us with this big, lingering question. As our world gets more and more connected, but also more politically tense, can we ever really separate trade from geopolitics? Is it even possible anymore? Or is this weaponization of trade just the new normal we all have to learn to live with? Definitely something to chew on.